everybody. I'm here with Jack. Kino was in the lobby a minute ago, but he appears to have disappeared. He may be in an apartment, which counts as a different map. In there. Yeah, it counts it as a different map, so I can't see him to spectate.
Are you still on me?
Yeah, I'm on you.
I'll tell you where he is now.
The track choices are from Jack, Threading the Needle, Duel, East Coast and Canyon Crossing, Kino's Arse, Spinner, Gauntlet, Big M and Pier Race. The boys are getting themselves fully ready. We're 6 minutes off the time, so there's no rush on them, and I've just given myself a bit more time to get this stream shared around, have a little chat with you guys for a minute or two in chat about what you thought of the last matchup, what you're thinking about this later evening matchup, etc, etc. But I'll just get this shared into the chats quick as you like. Well, as quick as I can, which usually isn't that quick, to be honest. But all my chats should be just about lined up. But this app is a bit slower to get into the messages, I feel. But faster to get onto the app, I don't know.
It's better and it loads up quicker as well on there. Yeah. It's like if one message would not load up. But now it's just... Ah!
Kino-bija. Doobie doobie dooboo. Copy that. There you go. I just saw your little thanks to me in that message. I'll make sure I respond to that a little later. But it's honestly my privilege to get to steal your guys' lines the way I do. One more chat to go. Go back, that one. Jack heading into a strip club, thinking about it.
I'm thinking.
Considering his options. He's in. He's decided to dive in head first and see what he can find.
Infernus and Sapphire.
It doesn't take me in there. It doesn't take me in with you, Jack. I'm just floating outside.
Well, am I in a building technically?
Yeah, no, I'm still on you. Don't worry, you've not disconnected me from you. But it doesn't take me into any building. Apparently, I thought it might take me in with you. That is it shared everywhere. Thank you, and we'll get the YouTubes up. So, hello, and how is everybody doing?
We are just trying to get... Yeah, okay, we are putting it on shuffle.
Yeah, nice.
Can you see me?
I can, yeah. Why can't I see the live chat? That's weird. Let's just close and reload the app. I think it had a bit of a bug. Buggy. There we go. Hello. I'm guessing that be Captain Holt. How you going? Track races. We've got ourselves Alex Heredia. Hello and good luck to both. Anyone know what the 3-lap world record is for Duel? Nice, Captain Holt with his new channel name. How you going, fella? 410.7. I believe Sirod did get it not too long back. Good luck, boys. Let's have it, Jack, from Captain Holt. This should be a good battle. We've seen Kino in good form. Was able to take down Luke, who we did see earlier take out Nacho.
All off. We are good to... Please don't kill me.
And we all know what Jack is.
Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me.
Oh, you lucky son of a bitch. Alex is waiting on F Madrid and Randos's match, and then Biz versus the winner of that, and that is then Alex's opponent. So it's one of them three, Randos or Madrid or Biz. He's in the third at the moment, yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's been a bit tied up with work, but they've arranged their match for 7 PM on Friday, at 9 PM Friday. Yeah, 210.1 by Sirod. It's the eyes emojis, and then he said, GG, looking forward to this. They are on Canyon Crossing first. We did hear Jack say it is on Shuffle playlist. The tracks again are Threading the Needle, Duel, East Coast and Canyon Crossing, Spinner, Gauntlet, Big M, and Pier Race. So we are going to see Jack and Kino taking it on a couple of bike tracks, and then 6 super tracks. It's going to be fast.
And 1 muscle, actually.
Oh, yeah, 1 muscle, sorry, Jewel.
Just a quick announcement before this as well. Time Travel Tuesday is after this at 9 PM, so make sure you got the old cars that I've listed in the chat.
Yeah.
Alright, even if you're doing what Fox is doing and you just buy a Wagner to do the
I didn't buy it, I had that one.
Alright, but he's not bought an X8, he's just using the Wagner.
Yeah, X80, oh no, fucking Wagner on all supers. And then I've got myself Prior and a Comet Safari.
That is allowed.
Let's go from new boys. Oh, Captain Holt just teasing that there's some battles coming up for the Division 1 in track races. Hey, and Captain Holt, you always keep in mind that if you want a little bit of commentary, just let me know, and we'll keep the dates as free as I can.
Ah!
And I'm not racing quite as much on PlayStation at the moment myself, other than stunts, and been very tied up with this competition. I've done almost as many matches in this competition as there was in the Champions League.
Right, this is Kino.
Bumped myself up by nearly another 100 commentaries. Nice, won this Saturday. Right, send me a message, Captain, and I'll put the time aside and stuff. I've not got anything booked in yet, and there's not too many matches left, so it's easier now to move things aside to a different date a little bit. If anything does come up, I can offer them earlier or the next day, sort of thing. No issue.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw you posted about that, the 15 laps on the F1 and then 5 laps on the rally. I'd be more than down to do that. When you put your battle chat together, just stick me in there, Captain, and I can follow the team and all that sort of stuff. I'll try and attend a little practice so I can keep my eye on times and stuff. So I get my little averages and stuff like that, and then add a couple of seconds on to help it look even better. And good luck to both from Randos. Good luck to yourself for Friday, Randos. Looking forward to that matchup as well. I know Alex will eagerly have his eyes upon that, so he can see who goes up against Biz and start looking towards his potential future opponent. Have Ross in the party. Hello, fella. Just got Jack v Kino. Just started off hitting their first race, Canyon Crossing. both in the Emirates. Just took the lead round the first corner. It's a good low cut from both Kinos. Undercuts Jack slightly, gets it perfect. Jack just starting to bring it in, touch through the corner set, minimising the damage. Kino did just extend away, ever so lightly. Jack is just beginning to inch it back as he cranks up the speed, clipping the curbs, nice and aggressive. Feathering the throttle in the air, maintaining the revs, a smooth loop. Just edged away a tiny bit. Jack's line through the loop, just closing back to level as they hit the boost. Kino's exit very low. Again, but Jack maintains his speed, got a little kick off the boost on the landing too. Nice and tidy through the spinner prop. You can tell this is going to be tense. Now, we'll just bring it up after what we saw from Kino in that last match. I did advise Jack to turn his music up nice and loud, just to protect from the horn, so that will maybe help protect from distractions from commentary too. Both into the ramp cut. Jack carries more speed. Lovely cut, just clips a little bit of yellow and pulls away a slight advantage down the hill. We head back to nice and low again, little tap of the horn as he corrects the car. Maybe a little hello. I hope you're doing well, Kino. Clean, if you like, through the transition, missing the ramp. Clipping curve. Nice and tidy, clips the curve aggressively. Jack is still just nice and clean. Ahead into the tube. You can see it starts to loop a little bit earlier. Keeps it tighter. Tries to collect the boost on that side wall. Clean over the curbs, got the car lined up perfectly. Sounded like he had a bit of a flat tyre then, but all looks good. Just had a slight little womp, 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 womp. No, it's not the prop noise, but from the tyre on the tube. Lovely exit from the wall ride. Jack has had to respawn, sees Kino into the lead. We'll stick with Kino for now. Have a look at Jack, maybe around the halfway point. Kino did pull aggressively to the left, maybe feeling like he was maybe drifting a bit too far to the right. Using out that straight, heading around the corner on the straight behind. Kino hits the cut, Jack comes around the corner a little higher from Kino this time, but gets himself across the gap nice and clean. Will give Jack a chance to close it up. Jack already coming towards the ramp skip there as Kino approaches the S-bend, so it did close a significant piece of that time. More high tube exits, potential safe line through the actual corner rather than the wall ride. May see Jack bring this back. Coming into the tube behind Kino. Kino coming towards the back end of the tube, coming through the exit. Again, just that touch safer, gets down around the halfway point of the yellow. Watch this out to the wall ride point, and that's when we'll flick back to Jack. Pulls down nice and cleanly early on the yellow there. Kino is still going to go in for the wall ride. Pulls out clean, no slide, feathering the throttle on landing, making sure the car doesn't spin out. Jack out as well, snap the car down early to the track, just before the bump, maybe gaining that extra little curb boosting off it. Could be on for a really clean, nice time here at 152.819 from Kino. So far, the best lap. Lovely fast double barrel loop there, double roll. The gap closed significantly. Jack crossing the line. Kino does take the first race. That was one of Jack's picks. Kino now knowing he really just needs to secure his own races. Not going to be easy. There is the likes of Spin Up Gauntlet Peer race Jack feels comfortable on. Jack is going to have to press to push it hard on his tracks to make sure he confirms them out. Threading the Needle is up next, so Jack getting 2 tracks back to back. Let's have a little look through chat. Yeah, you got here perfect timing there. So Hello, Mobbin, Nacho, got critiques, Ventura, hello my man, and we've got Zialbo Lebo now, enters the chat as well. How are you doing? Yep, there's 2 bike tracks, 1 pick each, Big M, and Threading the Needle from Jack. Well, Big M's Kino's pick, and Threading the Needle is Jack's. But like I said at the beginning of the tournament, it is based on one driver is allowed to offer forward the option, but then their opponent has the right to turn it down and say, I'd like to stick to cars. On this occasion, there will be future tournaments where people will potentially be allowed to pick what they want. Kino a little bit unsteady on the Shitaro. Tap of the horn as he comes on through. Jack skips the ramp nice and clean, taking a nice strong lead. Gets his line good and clean. We are maybe going to pop over to Jack in a minute or two. Track Jack very strong on. Little tap of the horn from Kino, extends the glide out into the tube, good and clean over the gap. Jack clearly got it too, maintained his lead, but Kino got that glide nice, got a bit of the speed boost. Oh, running wide to the edge of the track. Taps of the horn, just letting Jack know he's there potentially, or it could be slightly malfunctioning control. Getting a bit aggressive during the glide portions. Oh, the bounce off the pothole. Really not nice there. Jack away. Wasn't technically a brick. It was the pothole bouncing him up in the air. And Jack skipping the ramps and the stop strips entirely, clips the checkpoint and cuts through clean. Clipping checkpoints at a really wide point. See Jack there getting a 1:53.486 first lap. Pulls right around the corner. Straightens up over the jumps and then left, nice and clean and smooth. edges off the ramp. Nice and early. This line between the signs, off the edge. Good clean line, just edging out the airtime. Giving away the secret. Shortcuts on the tracks, the bike tracks too. What was that? It was just a little skip there, Albo. He skipped the ramp, cut through the gap. And a lovely glide over the gap in the middle. Pulls up sharp as the bike tried to slide him down into the abyss of the city below. They can be mobbing. Like I say, it's down to both drivers agreeing to it for their particular 1v1. Is any driver has the ability to say no, and it has to be accepted quite kindly by the opponent that did put it forward. Jack skipping the ramps again, and the tube clean, pulling wide of the stop strips, coming back slightly to make sure he does collect that checkpoint. That one triggers so wide, does just clip the wall and get hung up on that pole. He's going to pull himself around. Kino's coming through that section himself. He's closed up a good portion of time. We should see Kino improve his lap time, I believe. It hasn't come down. Maybe there was some slight error. Okay, sorry. There's a little pothole that's covered by metal there, and the bike just seemed to get its front wheel caught on the lip of the pothole. Jack through, clean again. That brace as he went over. Going into the glide, over the middle again, pulls up over the ramp and then into the tube, nice and smooth. Bike not going down as sharply this time, didn't have to pull up aggressively. Get away from the city edge. Cut the curb aggressively, caught the curb aggressively, and it just bounced him up into the air as he took too sharp an angle onto it. You can see him just adjusting his glide there to get round that pothole. You can see how he extends it out to the right a little bit more than Kino did, getting himself under the underpass though. He's going to take the standard line this time, straight over platform, then go straight down the inside of these props, through, off the wall a little bit better than the first attempt. That is Jack having brought it back to 1-all.
I was shitting myself with that car park.
152.211 there. No, I didn't even know that skip was a skip.
Which bit?
Car pole.
Where
you go through between the sign and then back over.
Rather showed me it.
I've personally never been able to pull that glide off either into the tube.
That's fucking hard.
So when you're going to them glides, because sometimes it feels to me, because I'm pulling back fully, that the bike won't pull back. Do you not pull back fully? Let off it a little bit.
Like move your stick like forward and back a little bit just to keep it.
Yeah, I know to maintain the glide or rotate it, but how, like, when you're pulling it back, are you just at 100% pullback or are you at like 95%?
No, about 95. We don't pull it all the way back, so we're like.
So it quickly. That's how it is able to pull back quick enough to get into the glide. I was just trying to break it down because when I'm holding it 100%, I quite often don't get the speed of the wheelie to come up quick enough.
Do you try it in the batty? Because Asadora says it's like he's in the batty.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to learn it more on PC, and I'm getting there. But I still can't do his one on 45 degrees down the hill. Right, I just can't get the bike to pull up quick enough.
Right.
Back to strip mode, Jack.
Yeah.
Yep. I will post the link into chat again in a minute, Albo, as well, and you can have a quick look. And I've put it as the winners bracket because that is what it is. Remember, people from the losers bracket will come up to face the winner. As they get there, they need to beat out the rest of the losers bracket though. So there's an actual final. They'll just need to beat the winner of this side twice from the losers bracket. Right. Oh, my phone's ringing. I'll be back in 1 second. Apologies for that. Just had to go get something from the door. And Uber gave me a quick ring. Nice, clean exit. Jack is holding a strong lead. You know, it looks like he's just gone through the loop line, through the tube, and exits clean as well. The advantage showing at the moment was maybe a slight collision with the barrier. There we go. But there you go, Albo. So just keep in mind when you do have a look at that, Albo, to remember that whoever wins the losers bracket below will come up, and then there'll be a final. So there's a losers bracket final too, and then there's the final as well. So that's why I'm calling it the winners bracket semi-finals and the losers bracket stuff, and actually making the difference between the two. Because the main difference is them guys have lost their life in the losers bracket, but they can still win the competition. Lovely brake boosting as he comes across the curves. We're going to keep on with Jack for now. He's got good lead. Cuts across the loop really cleanly. You know, just comes through it too. It looked good and clean, and no squiggle on the car. He's straight through the corner. Afterwards, Jack going for the first brake boost, didn't go for the second, just wanted to get back up to full speed, having only caught a portion of the first. Going through his loop line. Lovely and tidy. Oh, they just lagged out. I haven't heard him speak, he might have popped off some food. Yeah, it mixes, but that's only for the final match, Albo. So the winner of the losers bracket will face the winner of this bracket, the winner's side, but the loser bracket finalist will have to beat the winner bracket finalist twice, because the winner's one still has their life that they won't have lost throughout the rest of the competition. Or like maybe we could do something like 12 tracks and the winner only needs to win 8, whereas the loser would need to win 12, I'm not sure. But I think 2 matches will be the way to go. Jack's through nice and clean through his hairpin, taken maybe a slight bit more of a lead. The lap times we've seen are a 149.475 from Jack, a 151.528 from Kino. So it's the exit of the lead. It's clean again. We'll pop over to Kino, see if we can catch it from him too. Go Jack from Danny. Danny, congratulations on Driver of the Week or Racer of the Week, and also GG's to Lazy Sirod, LJQ and Fat Neek. Based on their performance as well, they got their honourable mentions.
Luke's gonna nap for about an hour.
Yeah. That is 2-1 to Jack. You know, it does bring his time down by nearly a full, I think it was a full second, down to 150.3. Next 49 does stay the best lap. Keeps pressure bay.
Did not expect to be wall riding this shit so early in the playlist.
4th race up is East Coast. Jack has seen out the majority of his tracks in this first half. He has a 1 track choice remaining after this.
What's that? Well, Julia.
Kino only having seen peer race in the first half, but with a spinner, gauntlet and big aim to come.
Wait, what track?
East Coast.
Yeah, I forgot what car it was. Honk honk, sorry Kino.
Kino just edges into the lead, maximising the pace off the start, but Jack pulling it back, getting good boosts off the curb, pulling level through, stronger brake boost, or just caught a lot more of it than Jack. Oh, Jack goes in earlier than Kino. It leads and forces Kino to follow in just a touch later. Not getting such a clean line into it. Sees Jack gain the advantage. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning in. I can see 30 of you here. Hey, Danny, you were showing some really good speed. You were surprising a lot of people, and that's what we're looking for. You don't have to be the best to get it. Do you know what I mean? It's about general improvements. Like, you've come on a long way in the time I've been in the community, and you've always gone with off-meta setups. And that's what we celebrated there on this occasion. For the first one that I call, I think I'll base it like a mix between I think my honourable mentions that week will come from the playlist, and because I've commentated on a lot of these, I'll take it from like performances over that past week from the guys, or close to that week, say whatever. So like I can potentially, Jack's not nominating himself, but I can potentially throw Jack's name in the hat should he be handling his playlist pressure and 1v1 competitive stuff to a standard we'd all like to aim for. And hello Rescue, how you going my man? And Prestige, how you going fella? But yeah, if there is anybody new in the chat, guessing the majority of them will be regular faces, just enjoying the show. But if there is anybody new, don't be afraid to say hello. Jack just comes out of the wall ride. It looked a little late. Maybe he had a little slide on the exit. Kino does go into the lead. We didn't see anything brick-wise there. It looked like he'd gone into the water very late. Oh, the slide sees Kino go wide. Kino very quick on the respawn though. He likely keep. Oh, he doesn't. Jack does just take the lead. I thought with how quick he respawned there, Jack obviously quite quick on it himself. Maybe he just pushed too wide and aggressive across the curbs. Hello, Born Boss. I was very afraid for this, but hello. No, don't you be afraid, my man. Welcome to the channel. Kino's missed the checkpoint. You could tell, he could tell instantly. And Born, I hope you're doing very well, fella, or lady. I'm guessing lad. I think Bjorn is a male name. Jack maybe did get ride his luck a touch, then Kino's frustration. Comes on through. Born, I think so too. So it is the male name. But Jack is pushing home the advantage. We are going to pop back over to Jack, apply that pressure onto the young lad's shoulders. Hoping to let Kino settle into it a bit, but maybe get into him a touch. The brick on the landing from Jack maintains the lead though. It's strong, so it just shortens the gap up. Kino swinging around the high speed right for the jump. Oh, bit of a high tube entrance. The nose just clipping into the tube. Comes out of the tube. Kino is shortening the gap, coming through that tube, I believe himself. There's the tube line and exits for the loop. Looked like he got the loop skip. It was a very fast flip on the map, and then he seemed to glitch forward a touch, which suggests he maybe did go for and get it clean. Occasionally just shows a little bit of lag when the car flies a touch more. Carries its speed and nice and clean. And hello Lance, how are you going fella? Not meaning to miss any of the comments out, just having quick glances down. It's nice to see new names on the stream, it always is. Nice out of the exit, very aggressive. You can see him chasing the curbs early. 203. And hello Leighton, my dude, hope you're doing well. Kino in for it too, collects the checkpoints, doesn't quite pull out early enough. Little bit too straight, that has seen it go. 3-1 Jack's way. Again, thank you to everybody for coming by. Thank you, Bjorn, for following the advice and saying hello. And anybody else out there, do feel free. You can see we welcomed Bjorn to the stream nicely. The 203.222 from Jack is the best lap. 204 from Kino. And hello, Mobbin. The eyes either side. Someone needs to develop that into a face properly. Like that can, I reckon that can be done with the between emojis and certain keys on the keyboard. Make quite a nice face. We are into duel. This is Jack's final pick. We'll still have 3 of Kinos to come. Pump from both competitors. Pop on to Jack. To get dab of the brakes over the curbs nice and tightly. Kino just stays ahead. The ball ride good and clean from both. You know, did shoot him off the wall a little bit further to the right, did lose a touch of his lead. Jack gets good boost off the ramp, maybe Kino feathered to get better entry and speed through the corners. But Jack maintains and pulls back up to the speed. Early, aggressive on the curbs, just edging ahead. Kino having to match it to hold pace. Jack onto the curbs, nice and early, able to just put 2 wheels across gently as you like and pull them back across before the corner. Strong brake boost from Kino, sees him pull right back up behind, and again Jack a little bit faster on the ramp, a little bit less afraid to carry the speed. Kino's back end just clips the top of the ramp. Before the downward section, he looked like he'd come out low enough to maybe get onto the track before drifting too far to the left. The score is 3-1 to Jack at the moment. Scar. As Jack heads into the final first wall ride, we've seen a 25.154. It's the first wall ride, sorry, the second wall ride. Apologies. Jack clean through the corners, 43 fet, 918 on the back of his car. As he clips the curb, nice and aggressive, just drifting to the right again, this time not quite close enough to the curb to let the full 2 tyres drift across. Does this time, clips that curb nice and gently, feathers heavily, good brake boost from Jack, and a big brake boost on the exit of the loop. That brake boost once crashed my game. I got it so hard, my frames dropped so much I had to just turn my PlayStation off. Curb. Through the corner, it looks like Kino's caught a touch of the time since the respawn, clearly made it through nice and clean. 24.385 is the best lap there from Jack. Kino about to come across the line now. 23.697. Jack misses the checkpoint, respawns as soon as he gets out of the wall ride, but Kino into it clean. Jack had to pull up to grab it. Oh, a little squiggle. We will pop on over to Kino. Hello, Unholy. Kino with a strong enough lead, he could potentially just skip that final wall ride, go through the corner nice and clean, maintain enough. He's done really well to apply the pressure at 23, very nice. He's just getting the angle of the car to try and catch a bit of the landing boost, pulls us through the corner. That gap is shrinking down. Jack just coming through the loop behind Kino. Kino lines up the car for the corner, has missed the checkpoint, knowing he was going for... Jack needs to respawn! The double oof moment. Kino's going to have the speed, but Jack back up to pace as he comes down the hill. The brake boost helps him maintain. Kino closing in lightly through the corner. The gap is tight, but Jack is just going to maintain. The double oof moment there.
That lap?
Yeah, Kino jumped over the checkpoint and then you pulled off a little late of the wall ride, didn't you?
I did. I wondered why I went into first. I was looking at the bottom right and I fucking didn't pull up. I was like, fuck.
Kino
I was straight on that triangle, man. I was pushed down on that triangle, man. Fucking it.
Not...
Fuck, made both missed the checkpoint now.
You did look to have respawned from the loop relatively quickly, because Jack wasn't only just coming through the loop. But Kino had to respawn quite early on in the first lap. After the second wall ride, Kino had to respawn. He clipped his back wheels over. But that was crazy. Ridiculous. And fiendish. Oh, a couple of messages just coming through. Check them on my
Big
phone.
M.
We are into Big M. Get the PlayStation out to reset itself, and all these messages that just pop through to the top. We have 3 races remaining. Kino does need to secure all 3. They are Spinner, Gauntlet, and Big M itself.
Sort of practice this, but no. Okay.
Sit with Jack initially. Now Kino does hold a slight time advantage here, so Nate spending a bit of time with him. See Kino tapping the horn as he goes over the curbs occasionally. Kino down early to the track, maintains his speed, gets the glide back up. Jack doesn't quite carry it as long, but gets good boost off it. You can see Kino extends away. Oh, the barrier wasn't kind to Jack. Oh, there, just clipped it a little early. It's under on the right side. The gap in the barrier. I mean, this isn't. The track not going to let it affect him too significantly. Head to the left. Kino went right. Already through at least the first boost, maybe the second in the barrier, just bouncing Jack off it again. Hello, Tyrese. Enters the party. Stands out the glide right towards the checkpoint. Clean. Seem to lose some of the revs on landing. Hello, Tyrese.
What's the score?
It is a 4-1 to Jack at the moment. Kino does have a strong lead here on Big M, and Kino's tracks are all that remain, with a spinner, gauntlet, and of course Big M when we're on. We are going to pop across to Kino.
Is Sarah commentating it?
No, Sarah ended up with something to do as well, unfortunately. But for the future, I would, like, should circumstances allow and stuff, we'll try and work out a way that we can potentially get another language being commentated on. If anybody is interested in doing so, please do get in touch. If we have any German or French speakers out there, Tybot, sing us a song.
I don't know what song you want.
Kino, nice and smooth. I think he'd be happy with the Wilfred Boney one. To be fair, they go mad for it every time you do it.
They need to put a yeah in the chat if they want it.
You heard him. Heard it here. Extending that glide out nicely. Just gets a good wheelie on the landing. Song time tie from New Boys. Boney will do just fine, bro.
1 minute.
Clearing his throat, ladies and gentlemen. I think you may hear it. Barrier there, not quite kind to Kino. We see Kino with the 135.557. The 42 first lap there from Jack.
How far is Jack behind?
So quite a way. He just crossed the line, but he got 36, so he's only a second off his best lap there. But Kino gained quite a lead on the first lap.
I'll wait for this. I'll wait for this race
But
to finish and I'll do it.
This was the track Jack was the least confident about in any way.
Did he win Fred of the Needle?
Yeah.
What track did he lose?
Just lost. What did he lose? Canyon Crossing.
Oh.
I think it was. Nice glide, Kino from New Boys. It was. Like, it's one of the reasons why I have put them in, because I wanted to see how it come across. People do seem to enjoy the guys doing something a bit different. And it is why in the future, not all tournaments, but some will have the flexibility to allow people who are a bit more confident on the bikes to potentially participate, with having the chance to pick 50% themselves guaranteed. Say that that'll all be sign up, and like people will be fully aware of it. They know what they're getting themselves signed up for per competition. I like to make things nice and clear. Nobody coming in very, like, confused or not 100% sure what they've got themselves into.
Fuck.
Kino does bring it back to 4-2.
Two laps are good at a time. Fucking end it now from that.
Yeah, it's the holding back and then having to push forward and turn, like you're never not doing the direction.
Oh,
35.160, very nice, and that's your new PB, isn't it, Jack? No, you've got 34. Yeah. Oh, it is, yeah. I thought you said a 36 earlier. That was why.
I have a 35 high.
And Kino had a 32, you said.
Yeah.
This is absolute PB.
I see like a minute to at the end.
Ty, you've gone very quiet since you said, give me a minute.
He's munching.
I'm eating some food.
I'm just reminding him that Wilfred Boney needs to be sung. The fans are begging for it.
We Chinese.
Have Gauntlet and Spinner still to come. Oh, nice, Ty, nice. These are both Kino's picks. he has brought it back to a point where it all matters again, where it all clearly has mattered throughout, but it's all in his own hands. They're his picks. He knows if he wins these two tracks, he's got the draw. Taking that early track off Jack allowed. That's like...
Jack, remember, you got a 49 yesterday. You have this.
Errors on thingy. We will sit with Jack initially. He is in second. Kino got matched each other's speed. Kino just got there slightly quicker. Jack's speed over the jump though seems to be closing the gap. Kino down to the track earlier though. But that speed allowed Jack to match up with the pace from Kino. Kino maybe just inching away. We can now see the exhaust over the top of the roof, obviously because of the incline as well now, but when it was the flat level surface. Kino has just edged away. Jack pulls it back tighter through that corner. Oh, corrected that slide and kept the traction good and clean into the first tube. Jack stays lower on the boost line. Kino got a little bit higher, using the swing through the tube to try and build a bit of extra momentum. Jack lower down to the track earlier. Kino got out, touch safer, but maintained that speed gathered through the more aggressive line. The standings, Diego, are 4-2 in Jack's favour, but we have two of Kino's track choices remaining in Spinner and Gauntlet. Obviously, Jack not bad on any track, but Kino confident enough to bring a fight to him here. And Spinner may yet see it go to the penalty shootout. The palms are sweating. It's been tense throughout for myself. Oh, that was a nice camera for that tube exit. It's a lovely exit from both. Kino drifting quite far to the left. Just kept my eye on it. Jack carrying a bit more speed over the ramp. Kino clearly feathering a little touch over them jumps, trying to get down to the track a little earlier.
Is Kino pulling away?
A touch, I think. Jack disconnects from the tube. He keeps the grip though somehow. He just got that left tyre on and pulled himself back to the tube with clever management of the steering and throttle. Really nicely done. I thought Kino was going to fall off. Oh my god, lol. I did too a little bit. It's why I was keeping it within a touch. Kino misses the ramp skip. Jack goes in for it clean. That will shorten the gap up a touch again. That disconnect from the tube did not play nice with Jack. 2:54.010 to 56.210 from Jack. So 2 seconds point 2 between the two. That was a lot of twos. He's under the underpass. You can hear the score. Gucci, it's at 4-2, Jack's favour, but Kino with the lead by around 2 seconds. Maybe a touch more. He's been very clean on this section. Jack, no slide on this occasion. Going to maximise his revs into the tube. Clean this time. On to the boost. In the tube bumps. Nice and clean. And through to the exit. This time just plays it a little bit safer. Not wanting to take a big risk. Maybe feeling like the car would slide out. And he has gained time. You can see it's a lot lower. That was, I believe, less than a second between them checkpoint pickups. Enters the corner just behind Kino. Kino maybe just a little bit smoother initially through the corner, but Jack maintained and just pushed a bit harder on the exit, collected the curbs a bit more aggressive to close that gap back up through the loop line, through the tube, just below the yellow wall there. Jack is closing, collecting the boost, nice and smooth to the exit. Both get it. Kino to that left side, Jack to the right, pushing it just as tight as Kino did on that first lap, really. Again, Kino is just feathered the throttle, maybe hit a dab of the brakes as he reaches the peak of that ramp, just to try and undercut back into the lead, and does so effectively, just pulling away that half a second lead again. A tube slide from Jack there on entrance just extends Kino's lead a touch, but does not do the damage that that bigger tube disconnect and reapplication downforce and contact to it. Kino in for the ramp skip, not feeling like he can rely on a skip-free run. Maintain the lead over Jack. We're going to see the times improve. I believe it's been good and smooth from both. 2:52 to 2:51.5, so the time did come down by 0.9, so we've got 1.3ish between the two. Jack appears to be closing up. It does look like he is just edging a little closer. Maintaining the boost nice and clean off the curbs. Nice through, maintains full traction as he reaches the apex and reapplies the power firmly. Kino takes that high loop line, not loop, but just catching the boost on the high line through the tube, maintains his speed again. Jack again slightly safer, not wanting to lose any time on a rough landing. Kino just edged away a touch through that tube exit. Jack in prime position to try and pounce the gap again, just appears to be inching Jack's way. Collecting the boost, goes high, drifts back down the wall, through the boost, through the loop. So he is just through, goes to the low exit. To the right a bit, but it's just a touch too far. The left wheels on, the right ones are just over the edge. We see the barrel roll flip off the side. You could see Jack feeling like he needed a risky exit to try and close the gap up. It looked like they were touching down at very similar times, at similar positions on the ramp, so the gap had significantly closed. Kino doing just enough, well, I say just enough, does enough to apply the pressure to get the mistake out of Jack.
4-3, right?
Yep. Oh, Kino got low there. I thought the nose was going to clip on the jump up. That maybe would have shortened it up, but I think with where Jack had to respawn, would have been too much anyway. Even a brick and mitt of the ramp would not have been too big bullshit for Jack to be able to catch up on. Unlucky Jack from 28. It was. I was just about to say it looks good, and I've noticed the car was drifting that touch too fast towards the edge as it was coming down. Bit my tongue. but you're right, very unlucky. It did appear to have shortened the gap. Kino had clearly come out that touch earlier, but Jack's slightly flatter out of the exit carried the speed nicely. The 251.572 does stay the best lap, and the 52.492 from Kino, just 0.9 behind. 4-3, heading into Kino's final pick. And this is what I was saying earlier at the halfway point of Luke's, with him having had more of his tracks come up, it's just the way the cookie crumbles. Kino clearly showing that his confidence to pick these tracks, general, the right ones. But they both have taken one track off each other. Then their own. Jack just letting the timer slide, giving his hands that extra wipe. Settling in, choosing his music for spinner. Kino likely to have been doing the same, maybe having that quick drag of the smoke. Sip of a beer to settle the nerves. But this is what we're here for. If we see Kino win this, we head in to the penalty shootout situation. If Jack wins, he goes through to face off against Kryptonite. Now, Kryptonite and Jack do have that touch more flexibility because they know they're waiting on the winner of the losers bracket to then be their next opponent. They do have the time to watch the tournament.
No, Nacho.
Pardon?
You won on Nacho and Luke.
Luke.
Did he?
Yeah.
Let's go.
It was 7-1. Nacho had been up all night, so I think he just pushed himself a bit beyond his limits. Like, he wasn't making any excuses, he just said, I'm having a bad day, sort of thing.
People always have a bad day, man.
Well, he's due. To be honest, like, he's been due one. He's been one of the most consistent people in my whole time. And Nacho, get rid of that unhappy face, man. It's what I was just pointing out, is you were due one off day, really. You've been one of the most consistent people since I joined this community. And like I say, that one off day is not going to let me see you any different. You've always been fantastically polite in your messages. You've got a funny sense of humour like Zombie as well. You're both very smart, intelligent lads, and you're both exceptionally quick young lads.
He is still one of the fastest though out of everyone.
Yep. That one bad day doesn't make a bad driver.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, class is permanent. Form can be a little bit temporary. Jack did get that cut across the skip really nice and clean. Feathered the throttle to perfection, landing on the bank surface on the right side and got the drive into the tube, closing the drive. The gap right up through this next section. Kino has just edged away, but Jack, better tube boost on the back end of that tube, just pulls into the lead at the completion of the corner before the boost. Into the wall smash, Jack extends out the portion on the roof, gets down nice and low, just edges ahead of Kino by a few extra feet. Takes a couple of car lengths advantage as he gets the brake boost as well. I believe he did. We saw that dirty tyre mark just appearing ahead of Kino. A little bit rough off the barrier, but Kino, nice tight line, back on the power, just a touch early, a bit rough into that blue wall. He just had to feather the throttle to keep away from the edge. Oh, Jack with a weird entrance into the tube. I didn't see any conversations about bricks from the guys. Kino into the lead, but it just looked like maybe a little bit too much steering application as the car attempted to slide into the tube entrance. Kino running very wide there. Gets very lucky missing that gap in the barriers. Jack carries his pace around the corner. Really nice. Kino was maybe taking a slightly different line there to allow Jack to retake the lead. Not 100% confirming that, but it's weird to see that sort of line there from Kino. He's normally in very good control of the car. See, Kino's line very different to the norm. Takes it a lot earlier, but the cut good both onto the downward sloping platform into the tube rather than hitting that opposite side wall and shredding a good 50% of the revs and a lot of the speed. You have to then get the drive back down and pull left onto the correct tube wall. Get the line right through. Kino this time seems to have got slightly better boost, feathers the throttle to make sure he misses the gap, allows a Jack to just edge. I could hear the Poco Dio by Kino with that turn. The car maybe not just doing what he wanted. I do have a slight suspicion that Kino maybe did take a slightly alternate approach, maybe different braking lines to let the gap come back naturally, because Kino is one to have good enough control of the car that you don't usually see errors quite like that. Maybe he did carry a bit too much speed down the hill, maybe caught an extra brake boost somewhere than usual. But Jack is in the lead. The lap times we've seen are a 2:31.050 from Jack and the .576 from Kino, so just over half a second between the two. Brake boost but no tyre marks, although it did get the extended squeal suggesting he got a lot of it. Comes up past the middle line and back down, up onto the boost line. The back end not bumping the way he would maybe have liked to have seen. He finally didn't collect all of the boost there. Kino feathers the throttle back on the application of power, feathering a little bit more to pull himself around to the apex. Through the line, over the jump, you can see both just drifted to the right, landing on the blue still, but looking to get that extra clip of the curbs as they come around the corner. Oh, Kino's gone too low. I had a feeling as he pulled on the ramp, the boost. He knew he needed to take the risk. Jack possibly picking that mistake up on the mini-map, knew he didn't have to play the risky line, feathering his throttle, and just went full power over the jump, really. Maybe feathered a little bit to make sure he didn't miss the tube. But knew...
Is Jack losing?
No. Jack's just about to confirm the win unless he makes a big error on the jump up. Kino just pushed a little bit too hard to gain a little bit extra time on the transition up to the banked blue platform before the jump across, knowing he had that half a second to make up. You can see Jack is playing it safe, knows he doesn't need to take the risk, making sure the car's up and over the platform good and clean. Jack playing it smart. Does see it go to 5-3. Now, didn't see anything. We'll leave it up to that slight conversation. But I believe everything is as it stands. Kino just hits the top of the ramp there on the slope down. But I think it is 5-3. And that does see Jack progressing to face Clip tonight in the final of the winners bracket. Remember, there is still the actual final to come. This is just the final of the winners bracket. We still need to get to the final of the losers bracket, play that out. And then there is So, as well, Kino falls into Heredia, Biz's, Randos's and Madrid's side of the draw. So, Heredia, should you win your match, Kino would be up next. So, whoever makes it through to face Heredia will have Kino next from the winner of that match. We've got 3 matches before that point, so Kino has got a little bit of time. I imagine we'll blast through the next 2. I know Biz and Randos both live just an hour away from me, time-wise, so that match should be quite easy to arrange. Should there be time over the next week, and then Heredia will be hot to do his match with the winner of that. We still have Trilsy v Zombie from the lower part of the bracket in the losers bracket, and that will be Luke's opponent. That match looking likely this weekend. But Jack, congratulations, my man.
Thank you, man.
Kino, commiserations on this occasion. That was tense, like I was sweating.
By far the hardest match in this 1v1 I've had so far, man. Fuck.
And Kino, you're not out yet. You still have one life left. You are into the semi-finals of the losers bracket.
It's the semi-final already?
It's a final.
Yeah. Kino, Jack and Kryptonite are into the finals of the winners bracket, and Kino has fallen into the semi-finals of the losers bracket, but he needs to wait for Heredia's match, Biz's match, and Randos versus Madrid.
So if Kryptonite or Jack losers, they get to go in the losers bracket and work the back up.
Whoever, but they're guaranteed 3rd place.
I'm gonna need to lie down quickly.
If I come in 2nd, and the winner is guaranteed 2nd place from the winners bracket. Because it's where they fall into the losers bracket sort of thing, so they always fall in 1 step ahead of the last people to go up against each other. And the semi-finals from the previous round have to be completed, basically.
So how long do you think me and Kryptonite have to arrange it now? Have we got a few weeks or?
Yeah, you've got quite a bit of time, really. I'll let you know as this side of the draw starts closing up more.
But we've got quite a lot of time.
Yeah, you've got a bit of time. I'd say at least 2 weeks before you even need to start really thinking about it. There's like 6, 7 matches, 7. Yeah. So it depends how quickly these guys get in, but that'd be like Randos playing 4 matches back to back to back to back to back.
Yeah, I don't expect that. I don't know how much time I've fully had, so I've got plenty of time to not think about any of this at the moment.
That is saved. So if you do click on that link I shared, I'll share it again into the chat. If you click on this now, you can see how it all live. Just take you to the web browser and you click view bracket. There is that. Yeah, so if you click that, you can see how it all lies. I'm going to post in the chat.
Not gonna lie, right? Even though he said he needed time to practice, like, fuck me,
he's still quick, yeah.
He's got the consistency and everything, man. That was the hardest match I've had so far. It's the only 1v1 I'm ever having in fucking bikes, so I'm done now.
I've done one, I'm out.
Yeah, I give Kino an exception. I got a lot of respect for Kino. So when he said 4 bikes, I was like, can we maybe do 2? He's like, you pick one, I'll pick one.
So I think that means that Kino's like guaranteed tied 5th place at the very least as well.
But Kino can still come back and win it.
Yeah, he can still, but he's guaranteed, like, I think it's tied 5th at the very least, because there's only 4 people and you left once we get to his match.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tied 5th place with whoever loses the other side of his draw. Unless they do want to have a 5th place playoff, but we got strictly into the final of winners. Lucky
Remember, guys, there is in 45 minutes time travel Tuesdays. The cars are as followed in the chat. It is a community-based thing, so no one from just YouTube can join, just because you won't be using the right cars or may not have them. So it will be community-based. I'll be hosting at 9. And if you're not going to use the cars, said, please don't join. It would make it a lot easier for me. Hold on a minute. Never mind. Quick cars are X80, Wagner or RE7B, Comet Safari, or Flash GT for Rally, or Pariah. Get the Pariah as well. What else? Pierce Weather Dominator or Sabre Turbo Custom.
There we go.
Is that it? Is that it, Fox?
Yeah, I think so. Bjorn, that'd be great to see you getting involved at one in the future, potentially. We'd be more than welcoming to you. It wouldn't necessarily be easy. You've just seen the likes of what you'll be coming up against.
Major bosses in Broffy's crew used to be go a while back.
Yeah, I knew I'd seen the name. I've seen you on Broffy's stream.
Yeah.
But he likes to watch these tournaments.
I was racing, but I was really concentrating. I thought,
I knew I'd seen the name. I thought I recognised it from either. I wasn't sure if he'd popped into my stream or I'd seen it somewhere before.
He was racing 2-3 days ago with us, so you might have seen him then.
Yeah,
he was racing
maybe.
Through that lobby.
But no, I've definitely seen him in one of Broffy's videos in the past.
Yeah.
As well. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much. I'm going to end the stream here. I need to grab myself a bite to eat before this playlist in 45 minutes time. Thank you all so much again. Congratulations do go towards Jack. You are up against Kryptonite in the finals from the winners bracket. If you progress, you face the winner from the losers, and they need to beat whoever wins from the two of you twice to gain, well, to make you lose that life. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you and good night. Goodbye!